Hey, thanks for stopping by our channel today. My name's Robert and this is Pheasant Lane Farm. Recently, I've been getting some emails of people, some viewers requesting a video on the Kubota L3901 with the Kubota LA525 loader. Now, we bought this tractor the same week we bought this property in March of 2020. And I did some reviews on this tractor when I first got it. I think I did a 50, a 100, a 200. Maybe I did a 400-hour review. I can't recall. And I know some of those videos are almost 70,000 views, so people like them. But for some reason, I just got away from it. Just life's been busy, you know, being retired, going back to college, finally getting a new job. So I guess the hours on the tractor just kind of slipped away from me. This morning, we were out here splitting some firewood, and I looked down and realized that, wow, we're at over 700 hours right now. So I figured 702 hours, which is what the hour meter reads right now, would be a good time to do this video and satisfy some viewers. So when you buy a tractor, there's always things you like, there's things you dislike, and as with anything in life, the longer you own it, you kind of, I guess, want to say you have some stronger opinions on both of those. Now, there's some things I like about this tractor, there's some things I don't like about this tractor. But mostly, I have a third category of things I wish it would do a little better, differently, or things that I'm looking for in a new tractor. Now, a new tractor is not in the cards right now. After being retired for 3 years and college and 18 months of physical therapy from my injury, going back to work, you know, started about a month ago. A new tractor is just not in the cards right now. I wish it was. I tried to get Amber on board, but she said no right now. But we need some other things done first, and hey, I get it. The biggest issue I have with this tractor is it fits 100% of the needs that I thought we would need when we bought this property. And I think that statement is probably one of the largest regrets I hear people say. Hey, we bought a tractor for a certain task, for a certain idea of what we were going to use it for, and those plans change. And this is no different. When we bought this 20 acres, my list was pretty small. Excuse me. I wanted something that I could brush hog with. I wanted something that I could move firewood with. I wanted something that I could pull a manure spreader, that I could pull a 6.5 or a 7-foot disc. I could pull a 2-bottom plow, and I could use it for moving stone around. We have a land leveler or a land plane for it now, actually on our second one in 3 years. There's a lot of things that in my mind this tractor is perfect for. The only problem is when we bought this property, we didn't know we'd be building a barn so quick. We didn't know that we'd be getting into cattle. And now on top of our feeder cattle, Kiddo's got a miniature Hereford bull that's going to get shown. And we also have a shorthorn show heifer now. So the biggest problem I have with this tractor is the lift capacity. And I'm just going to throw that out front right now. The biggest thing is lift capacity. Now, this LA525 loader, it does a lot of what I bought it for. Now, the tote before this one of firewood is stacked to the brim. I take the IBC totes, I cut them, I put like a little roof on the top. It'll move pretty much anything I want to as far as firewood totes. Anywhere on the property, I need it to go. Now, if I'm splitting some really wet oak and I stack them in there, it'll lift them up, but it's not pretty. Now, if I just chuck wood in there, like I said, this one we just tossed in some leftover rounds. I didn't feel like pulling out another whole log. The last one is stacked in there. It picks it up fine. I wish it would pick them up a little taller so I could double stack them. Right here to my right that you can't see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's probably a dozen of these IBC cages, and it would be nice to stack them when they're full of firewood. Another thing that I've really run into with this tractor is our livestock situation has kind of expanded. We first started, we were in cooney hogs, then we started raising some IPP hogs for ourselves. Now there's 4 horses on the property as opposed to when we bought this, Kiddo just had her 2 minis. And like I said, we're up to a larger number of cattle than what I thought. When you start buying feed in bulk, you know, 2,000 pound pallets, this tractor won't lift them. So it's kind of, It's just frustrating when you buy a pallet, they load it on the truck with the forklift. Where my dad worked, they called them Jeeps. Forklifts were called Jeeps, so sometimes I get a little off track. I wish that this tractor would lift a 1-ton pallet of feed off of the truck. Another thing I wish it would do as far as loader capabilities, you can see we got some new AeroQuip equipment here. There's our AeroQuip Q-Catch 54 series cattle chute. Phenomenal piece of equipment and engineering. But the tractor won't pick it up the way it's supposed to. You're supposed to slide the forks under the top rails. They have stickers where you're supposed to lift point or use the lift point. It won't move that. If I go underneath of it with some boards, I can kind of slide it where I need to, but I'm kind of limited to the use of the neighbor's John Deere skid steer, or he has an older telehandler, which is real nice because it pivots in all directions. But that's my biggest complaint on this tractor. Other than that, it does what I need it to do. This is the hydrostatic model. I know some people complain they don't like the pedal. You get used to it. I've spent, I want to say, majority of the hours on this tractor. Ambers uses it. My dad uses it. Kiddo uses it. I think that's pretty much, Robert Zucker's driven it a little bit. So let's just say a round number, I've put 650 of the hours on this tractor. I don't have a problem with the seat. It's a comfortable seat to me. The steering wheel not tilting is not a big issue for me, but some people really get hung up on the HST pedal. Now, a good friend of mine, if you don't watch his channel, please go do so, specifically if you're looking into these tractors, more so the gear driven. Tractor Talk with Gary, fantastic guy in Iowa, has a L2501 direct drive or gear driven. I haven't had any issues with this thing overheating. Now, we do a pretty large garden, 2-bottom plow, no problem. I have a video taking this over to Robert Zucker's place from Zook's Welding. He was running a big rototiller on his 2501. I was running the 2-bottom plow on this. I've never had an issue with the HST. If you're going to be moving a lot of stone, getting in and out of places, I like the HST. I like the HST for being in the woods around here. I understand that if I go to a bigger tractor, it's probably going to be a gear drive, but you know, that's just kind of the sacrifice you have to make. Another complaint I have on this tractor, and it's not the tractor's fault by any means, is if you're on the fence about buying a tractor, open station versus a cab, buy the cab. Everyone I've talked to that has an open station regrets it. Robert Zucker, he beat me to it. He traded in his L2501 on an L60 Grand, and that tractor is phenomenal. A good friend of mine, Shannon, who built our barn, he's got a skid steer, he's got some other equipment. He goes, you know, I'm at the point where we need a tractor for the property they bought. He bought an MX 6000. I would be happy with either one of those tractors. The cabs are very similar, but I wish I would have bought a cab. If you're on the fence and you're looking at the finances and you're like, oh, I can save a couple grand by not going to a cab, I'm telling you, 90% of people I've talked to at dealerships or through our YouTube, they wish they would have bought a cab from the get-go and just made life a lot easier. The summers don't bother me. The heat really doesn't bother me that much. The problem now I have, and the main reason I wish I had a cab, I was in a bad accident at work. I got 25 pins and screws in my arm. I got 3 metal plates, and that's kind of the reason today was getting cut short a little bit, is it doesn't matter what I wear, how many coats. Once that cold kind of penetrates and gets my arm cold, I'm done. I've gone before and I've plowed out some of the neighbors, some elderly people around here, just doing the neighborly thing, and my arm just starts killing me. I've tried the compression, I've tried the heat shirts, everything that the doctors recommend. It would be nice just to be wearing a hoodie out there when it's 20 degrees or even below zero. Have the radio on, have the heater on, have the windshield wipers on. So that will be my next tractor, I hope and pray. It's just not in the cards right now. Other than that, I really don't have a lot of complaints about this tractor. Some guys really complain about the seats. Like I said, some people really get tied up on the steering wheel's not adjustable. There's been no issues in the last 300-400 hours with this tractor. When I first bought it, I noticed that one of the loader brackets was kind of bent from the factory. Kubota has been great. They've taken care of everything I've needed. This is not a sponsored video. I paid for this with our own hard-earned money. But that's just kind of the things I wish it would do a little different. The things it does do nice is it gets in our steer pens. Obviously, our barn's 13 feet to the bottom of the rafters. Trusses, I should say. It gets in there. It's nice. It's easy to maneuver around. Our horse barn, we have a 16-foot wide concrete aisle. So it goes the places I want it to go. I just wish that it would lift more, and I wish it had a cab. But with that being said, a skid steer is not really going to work for me. I don't want to have to buy all new attachments for the front. The only skid steer I wish I had was a machine that could run a mulcher on the front. I have some acres of land I'd like to clear out for some more pasture, but I can just go rent one for that. I need something around here that can pull things, and that's the main reason why we do not have a skid steer yet. Maybe in the future, but right now it's just not something that we need 100%. But being 702 hours, I've had no mechanical issues. The first time the other day, I had to delay a regen. I was pulling in the barn, we got a bunch of hay stacked, and I had to get off the tractor and do something for a minute. That's the only time in my life I've ever hit that button at 700 hours. Now, Kubota has updated this tractor to a 3902. They changed the positioning of some of the pedals. They flopped them to the opposite side. I think the only other major difference is they have added an electronic PTO takeoff engagement switch. On mine, it's still mechanical. You know, that's kind of the one complaint I did have about this tractor is a lot of lawnmowers now you can get electronic engaged blades. Why can't you put electronically controlled PTO on a tractor? And since they've done that on the 3902. So I hope this satisfies everything everyone has been asking. I don't have any real complaints on this tractor except for I wish it had a larger loader capacity, and I wish it had a cab. Now the cab is just my fault. When I bought it, you know, the same week we bought a farm, or I should say an abandoned farm. None of this was here when we bought this. It was a house on the back of 20 acres and woods. So without this tractor, we would not be where we are today. It's cleared the land where this barn is. It's hauled most of the stone in here. 90% of the stone has been moved around with this tractor. And as long as you do the maintenance on it, the big thing for me is I sometimes put so many hours on it, and even in a given week, I forget that, oh man, every 10 hours or so, I gotta grease it. So just check it out. You can't go wrong with these L series tractors, and now they have the LX out, which they didn't have when I bought this. There's a lot of cool options out there. So if you're running a small hobby farm, or you're running some cattle, sheep, goats, hogs, whatever it may be, the main contributing factor is think to yourself, do I need anything that's going to lift a ton or over? Now, Robert Zucker's L6060 lifts over a ton. Shannon's MX6000 will lift over 2,000 pounds. So that's the only regret I have of buying this tractor, is that we don't mow with it except brush hogging. I don't have a finish mower on it. It even pulls a 12-foot harrow gator very well, and those take a little bit of horsepower. It's pretty much always in four-wheel drive around here just because I have a mud hill where our manure pile is. I have a mud hill that leads to our firewood logs. Other than that, I really can't think of anything I would change that you can't add on easily yourself. As you can see, chainsaw mounts are big for us. That one's made by Zook's Welding. On the other side, I had a saw haul, which didn't hold up as well as I thought it would for the price, but that's the way it goes. Soon, I got to get in the tractor in there. I like to change my oil a little more, I guess you could say, conservatively of what they recommend. So I'm going to do an oil change probably tomorrow when I leave work. There's a Kubota dealer across the street now, which is a nice perk of a new job. Grab some oil for it. I'm not due for any transmission, anything like that. I might just throw new filters on while I'm at it. They're not that much. And I do got to get 2 new taillights sooner or later, just from being in here in the woods, backing up, clearing some stuff. They just got cracks in them. I don't want water to get in there. I don't want to have problems. But other than that, you can't beat these tractors. I'm telling you. I see a lot of guys, you know, should I buy Kubota? Should I buy this brand? Should I buy this brand? Should I buy this brand? I don't know. I've never met someone who bought a Kubota that wasn't happy with their purchase. So that is it, guys. I'm going to back the log splitter in the barn here. Got the old wolf ridge out. Got the Diamond C dump trailer up. I don't want the snow accumulating in it. So we are gonna go put this stuff away and go grab some lunch because I am freezing. My arm's killing me, and go for a big salad. Sounds delicious right now. So if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, drop a comment below. Email us at pheasantlanefarm@gmail.com. Facebook is Pheasant Lane Farm. I'm always happy. This was kind of an unplanned video, but it seems like since beginning of December, I don't know if people are just off for the holidays. We're like, hey, where's the update on this video? So that's it, guys. There's nothing I would change about this tractor. I absolutely love it. I've never had an issue with the R4 tires. I've never had an issue with not having the traction I need if I put it in four-wheel drive. And the front tires still have a lot more life in them than I thought they would for a tractor that's moved almost 1,000 ton of stone. So back dragging, you know, moving it, putting it in piles so I can go get more. This tractor has just been it's been an amazing piece of equipment. The one thing I would like to add to it before I forget, I'd like to put a sunshade on it in the summer, but sometimes it goes up in the garage at the house. Sometimes it goes there's a spot for it in here. If I know we're getting weather, I back it in the horse barn with the snowplow attached. It just makes life easier. So nothing that I really regret. I know I'm beating a dead horse here, but those are the only two options or things I would really change about this tractor, except for she needs a bath really bad. All right, everybody, take care. Like I said, a viewer question. Thanks for sending that to me. I hope this answers everything you want. I just can't find a lot of flaws with this tractor. So that's it, everybody. Take care. God bless, and always make smart decisions. We will catch you on the next one.